Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Ryan. I'm a former commando from the United Kingdom. Today we have an update on Israel, Palestine, second one of the day actually. Guys, a little bit different background today. I'm outside of the studio, so bear with me. Hopefully the quality is still as good as it is in the studio. But thanks for stopping by again, guys. Make sure you like the video, helps with everything. So straight into this then, troops. 19 minutes ago, let's zoom in here. Near Jericho. Military force reinforcements accompanied by a bulldozer storm Akbat Jabba camp in Jericho. So let's have a little bit of look at the map in detail. The map quality is a bit better on the computer that I'm using here. You can see that this is a pretty built up area, loads of road systems and stuff. As we zoom in there, we've got loads of places of worship, nothing too uncommon in these areas, guys. We've got supermarkets and possibly a school within this camping area. Okay, certainly a lot more going on in this area. Let's take a look at what that reinforcement accompanied by a bulldozer looks like via this source. It's going to take us to Twitter. So this is what it looks like. Turn the sound up a little bit. It's a bridge of some sort. A couple of military armoured vehicles, I believe. We've got a van there with a flag and a bulldozer in front. Bulldozers are very effective in wartime, guys. You can get through certain buildings, blockades, and you know they're quite a sturdy bit of kit to be able to utilise. So that's happening as we speak. About 20 minutes ago, that was from. So back into the nitty gritty stuff. So 3 hours ago, Israeli army says it's carrying out new airstrikes against Hezbollah in different sites in southern Lebanon in response to today's rocket and missile attacks that happened in northern Israel. So if we look at the area in detail here, yes, it's annotated as if it's in the middle of nowhere, but it's effectively right next to this area here. Okay, Ramek, I think I'm pronouncing that right. So what's going on here? Well, it looks, we've got crosses in this bit, so I don't know if that's Christian area. And I know there's a small contingent of Christians within the area. I think that's certainly what that's annotating there, unless that's a graveyard. Honestly, guys, you know, I'd let you guys decide and let me know in the chat with that. But we have got supermarkets, we've got, you know, what seems to be police stations and stuff. And yeah, it's quite a built-up area in that regard. And Israeli army is bombing the area. So rocket impact in Sderot in the latest barrage from Gaza. There's no injuries reported from this. The only photograph that we've got pertaining to that and this source is that there, showing effectively damaged cobble path or road system. Nothing else going on. We can see that there's obviously electricity still going on there because there's lights and stuff within the vicinity, guys, and it doesn't look too damaged, just a little bit on the floor. Now that's just one photograph, granted. The rest, it might be pretty damaged for all we know. But just to the left of that, we can see that the Al-Qassam brigades said that they bombed that area with a missile barrage. So this area, in terms of as far as we can zoom in, we can see that there's a park, there's shopping centres, there's Israel places of worship, at least 3 or 4 or 5 directly within the area. It looks like we've got police stations, we've got you know, pharmacies and places where you can go seek medical aid. Loads and loads of stuff going on here, guys. Quite a built up area. All right, quite a nice area in terms of how the map looks. It looks like a typical town slash small city. We've got main roadways going on there. We've got parking systems. So yeah, there's shopping centres and everything here, guys. Okay, quite a nasty place to start bombing, guys. Let's be honest. So 15 hours ago, overnight, the concrete barriers at Rafah crossing were actually removed. Rumours across social media are suggesting that the crossing will indeed open today. I don't think it has. I don't think it will for a few days. But if anyone knows anything more than that, please let me know in the chat. Port as discussed earlier this week, however, nothing official has came out from the crossing authorities. Here's a picture here annotating that I believe that's either blocking certain parts to that building up, or they're supposed to be fixing certain parts of the road system, because that was what the issue was. But we need these crossings to open so that these vehicles here, which are carrying humanitarian aid, can actually get through. Egypt is about to finish road repairs on the Palestine side of the Rafah border to allow trucks to enter. We reported on this earlier today, guys, and there's a photograph showing that's just a vehicle that's obviously helping with the repair process. There's no humanitarian aid in there. We've got media teams and stuff in place, it looks like, because this is a hotspot area, guys, okay? Loads going on in that regard. So let's zoom back to where we were at before. 3 hours ago. So this is interesting, guys. With regards the USS Ky, so it was reported that there's still undisclosed or unknown the missiles that were fired from Yemen, whether or not the trajectory was for that ship or whether it was for Israel. Now, it's believed that due to intelligence and stuff, the officials said a clearer assessment than the Pentagon's intake suggested that they weren't intended for that warship and they were actually intended for Israel, which is good and bad, all right? At least it wasn't a direct threat towards that warship. I mean, that would have been big trouble for Yemen, put it that way. Okay, messing with America's Navy is not to be suggested. 3 hours ago, ongoing rocket and mortar fire near Gaza. This is east of Beit Leah. We're talking effectively 3,000 feet from the centre. Looks like there's some kind of, I mean, when you're looking at square waterways like that, we can only understand or only believe that it's potentially for industrial means. I'm not too sure, but that looks like it's quite man-made in this area. The top part doesn't, but certainly the rest of it does. What's around here, I'm not too sure, but it's probably man-made of some sort, used for factory work or industrial means. Got a little barrage going out there. Yeah, it's not too close to the populace where people are going to be living, though. Loads going on. Let's see if we can get some footage on this. Back to Twitter we go. So, yeah.
You can hear some massive explosions right now in southern Israel. Mortar and rocket fire continues to hammer Sderot. Stay back here, stay back here. You can hear that explosion.
So
One
that's
round
the
after
press
another
team
coming in, hitting this community that lies just over the border from Gaza. Stay inside, guys. You can hear another explosion there. A huge barrage.
I mean, fair play to the lad for getting amongst it and stuff like that, but he's taking a deep breath, like, get me the hell out of here. I'm laughing. I don't mean to laugh in a bad way. It's just, what is he doing there? He's probably thinking that himself, like, get me out of here, man. Anyway, I digress. 3 hours ago, eyewitnesses, a remote drone attack on the Al-Harb base in the city of Erbil, where American soldiers are stationed. Ooh. Okay, so this could be, yeah, this is different. So, a remote drone attack where American soldiers are stationed will be a direct threat towards, and will be taken as a direct threat towards American soldiers. I know how the Americans work. They take their soldiers and threats towards them in any way very, very, very seriously. So I wouldn't be surprised if America steps up whatever means militarily within that region. Yeah, so it's, I mean, that's in a completely different city of Erbil. Where is that? Right, it's Iraq, isn't it? So yeah, that's not looking good, guys. The Americans will definitely have something to say on that. Now we're going slightly towards the Rafah crossing. We're in Al-Mughra. International Red Cross hospitals in Gaza are on the verge of collapse. This is terrible. Okay, hospitals. We've already had one hospital smashed to smithereens. Reported a minimum of 100. Anything up to 300 people died innocently within that attack. And the International Red Cross is now stating that other hospitals in Gaza, are on the verge of collapse, which means that you're going to see an awful lot more casualties of this war indirectly now as a result of that. The amount of people that use hospitals on a day-to-day basis in any city across the world is substantial. They're always stretched to the nth degree. Okay, these places are drastically necessary. Okay, it's just a basic human right anywhere on the planet. Now, according to Israel officials, the two Americans who have been released by Hamas are 59-year-old Judith Ran and her 18-year-old daughter Natalie, who are both from the suburbs of Chicago, Illinois, and were kidnapped by Hamas while visiting their grandmother in town of Nazar or near the Gaza Strip. On the 471 of the 471 Israeli civilians living in Hahal Oz, at least 130 were shot. That's terrible, and or kidnapped by the roughly 20 militants who attacked the town. Wow. So this town here, so we're talking 2,000 feet, 2,000, you're talking like 4,000 square feet. 130 people were shot here, if I'm reading that correctly. Yeah, that's how it's annotated. That's incredible. So there we go. Terrible. So these have been released. Pretty girl. Wow, that's a tough read. It's an actual picture of these two there. Man, when you see pictures and faces and stuff linking to stories, changes it, doesn't it? Right, we're in America. We can tell we're in America, even if we didn't have information stating it just by all of the square blocks. Look at this. There's not a corner in sight. Oh, we've got a roundabout there. Right, okay, so Biden today says we have secured the release of two Americans taken hostage by Hamas. We have been working around the clock to free these American citizens who were taken hostage by Hamas, and we have not ceased our efforts to secure the release of those who are still being held. Okay. 6 hours ago, confirmed casualties amongst Israeli soldiers after targeting a gathering of them in the Baranit barracks. The IDF violently bombarded the outskirts of Aida, Ramish and Ramaya. I'm not sure if they did that as a result of the casualties or if they did that before that happened and that's why it happened. But this looks like it's a barracks within the Baram Forest. Let's zoom out here. I'm guessing it's bordering on Lebanon, guys. Okay, so yeah, there's that'll have been as a result of, I think, the Israeli army kills a person who tried to infiltrate from southern Lebanon towards Margalot. So they killed someone trying to get across this fence here. So from the border itself to there, we're looking at about no more than, just over 400 meters effectively, guys. So they've obviously actively patrolling these areas. As you can see here within this woodblock, we've had a couple of skirmishes within the past 13-14 hours. Initial reports about a number of armed men storming an Israeli settlement on the border of Lebanon. And Khan News reports a security incident on Israel's northern border with Lebanon. A terrorist may have infiltrated, shot a security guard at Moshav Margalot and escaped the scene. The Israeli army is searching the area, so quite a bit going on in that regards, guys. What's Biden got to say? He mentions something actually else. Biden requests 106 billion in emergency funds. Biggest hurdle is a 61 billion ask for a year's worth of assistance for Ukraine. To win over Republicans, Biden's request of 13.6 billion to secure the US-Mexico border and combat fentanyl trafficking. Fentanyl is absolutely destroying certain areas in America. You might as well just say the whole of America, because these certain areas, I believe Chicago is majorly hit, Detroit, these types of places are getting hammered with this trafficking of fentanyl. It's destroying people's lives on a grand scale. It's crazy. And yeah, I think Biden should be focusing an awful lot more at home on the problems across the border. And yes, it's right that is it right that America supports so many other countries as problems and doesn't support their own as much? I think that's what a lot of the people who watch this channel know, that I support America a great deal. I really wholeheartedly do. But I read your comments and I read how frustrated you guys are with the problems within your own country, and how much they aren't being addressed because, you know, the president is too busy supporting other causes. Whether or not that's right or not, that's not for me to say. America's not my country, but you know, the negative effects of America do whittle down to Great Britain as well. We are, you know, hand in hand effectively, so it does whittle down to us. Last few points then, troops, and then we're going to wrap it up. Lebanese Hezbollah, we targeted a gathering of Israeli soldiers in the Honin barracks that caused casualties. Mentioned that there, so Hezbollah's claimed that. Amnesty International, Israeli forces showed a shocking disregard for civilian lives, destroyed infrastructure. Amnesty International is saying this now. Something that I've been saying from the beginning. Is it proportionate to what's happened? People keep on talking about Hamas and Palestine, Palestinians, as if they're interchangeable. They're not, all right? Yes, Hamas, the government, they voted for them, yeah, but, you know, I voted for Conservatives. I'm not happy with them. I'm not happy with where they're going right now, okay? I want them out. But they're not going to kill me as a result of saying that. Whereas people in, you know, Palestine, that's the case, all right? You can't. Oh well, they voted them in, yeah. Well, they can't get them out. It's just it's that type of government, you know. It's that type of rulership. They can't have the freedom of speech that me and you have. That's one of the big problems over there, okay. And I was right to say Israeli forces did show a shocking disregard for human life. You just have to look at what's been going on. They're absolutely hammering to death Gaza. All of these innocents being killed. But that's for another day. Troops, what I'm going to do is, because I have not got any other scenes on this video and stuff, I'm trying to get it set up properly because I might be in this setup for the next week or so. I'm going to play about with it a bit, so forgive me for the quality of the stream, but hopefully you enjoyed it still and got something out of it. And the reason I'm talking quiet is because I have to be. But yeah, thanks for watching, troops. Don't forget to smash that like button, and I'll see you in the next one.